Hello, and welcome to the Park Podcast, the Myers Park SGA's podcast series. My name's Carson, and I'm a senior representative here at Myers Park. On today's episode, we'll be looking back on our first semester, talking about our highs and lows, and looking forward into second semester. With me today, I have my fellow representatives.
Hi, I'm Kate Bunden, and I'm a senior representative.
Hi, I'm Paige Bunden, and I'm a sophomore representative.
Hi, I'm Angry Oxrider, and I'm also a sophomore representative.
So, looking back on first semester, it definitely looked a lot different than any semester I've ever had before, but I really enjoyed parts of it. Like, some of the highs that I experienced were getting to know new people, whether it be in breakout rooms or, like, working with them on a project. And I really enjoyed, like, trying to get to know my teachers, even though it was kind of different, like, than a classroom setting. And also just, like, kind of getting back to some normalcy with learning again.
I think a high for me is definitely, I had ups and downs with it being at home online. I honestly kind of enjoyed the freedom of being able to log on at home and the comfort of that, but also I really missed the in-person class experience. Kind of opposite to what Kate said, my low of mine was probably not having much of a relationship with my teachers or classmates. I think it was really hard through Zoom to find a relationship and to connect, because the Zoom awkwardness that I think a lot of us experience was kind of a downfall for me. But other than that, I think I tried to make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm the same, Ann Gray. I feel like it's probably more for us because we're sophomores and we don't know the same people, whereas you've been in IB, so you've been in classes with all those people. There's definitely a bit of awkwardness on Zooms and in breakout rooms. So I guess that's something for us to work on in this coming semester, or in this semester.
Yeah, if I were to reflect on any of the low points of my senior year, I would definitely say Zoom awkwardness, as it's probably called, has been probably one of the more negative things, I guess, about the year. I guess it kind of depends on your class and your teacher and, the way they instruct you and everything, but there are classes where, the teacher will ask a question, everyone has a black screen, and no one will raise their hand and give an answer, and you're all just staring at each other like, who's going to say something? And it can be frustrating at times, and it can make it hard to really engage and learn the classroom material. But I would say that majority of my teachers, lucky enough for me, have been really good with all that stuff, trying to get students engaged as best as they can. And usually that works out pretty well. Again, this is a thank you to all my teachers who have been trying really hard over online school, because I'm sure it hasn't been easy, but they've made it for me what hasn't been a great senior year. They're making it doable, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, and especially shout out to my history teacher, Mr. Schumpert. Like, he does an attendance form after class every day and leaves space for, like, notes or, like, are you okay? Like, how are you? Stuff like that, and asking just, like, how we're doing, because if they're not seeing us in person, they have no idea. And also just, like, checking in on your students can be so important. And then I also love how much my teachers have encouraged participation, whether it works or not, because it can be hard.
Yeah, like Kay was saying, just a huge shout out to like all of Myers Park staff. They've done a really good job like adjusting to this year, because we couldn't have adjusted without them doing it first. So, I mean, like my human geography teacher, Mr. St. Clair, has done an amazing job of getting everyone to have their cameras on and to participate, because I know I've been in awkward situations where you're like the only one answering questions in class, and you don't want to be that person that's answering every single question, but you don't also want to be the one with a black screen not talking at all. So I think trying to find a balance and making sure that everyone is participating is kind of what should happen this semester.
And with all that being said, I'm honestly looking forward to the second semester. We've already had a week of it, and I feel like I understand what to expect, and it's less awkward in that sense, that I think our teachers are more prepared after having a semester of knowing what to do. So I think that depending on if we do go back in school or not, if we do stay online, I think that we will have a better semester because we are more experienced in what is going on and what to do.
Yeah, to go off of that, something that was a big low for me was my like effectiveness in getting my work done. Like I would just sit there and not do anything even though like I would tell myself that I'm doing my homework. And that made like that took so much time out of my day because I just like was not being productive. And so I think like although it's only been a week, I definitely like Anne Grace said I'm more on top of it and I'm able to get stuff done like in a shorter amount of time, but I still need to focus on that because if I don't like actively try and get my work done, I'm gonna end up sitting on my phone or like staring at the screen for like 2 hours before I do anything.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when it's just at home. Like, a lot of us are on home computers and we're in our rooms, and there's no sense of when you're on your computer to watch a show or when you're on your computer to do work. There's no difference in where you are or like what you're on. So it's just kind of hard. So you just have to like decipher what times you're gonna do work and what times you're gonna just relax. So I think that's like
Yeah.
I think that though the year or this first semester was hard, we need to recognize like how great it is that we can have self-discipline and do these things and know what's important for us. So I think that that's also really big, and a shout out not only to the teachers and the staff but all the students too.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we're reflecting on our first semester right now. I think that anyone listening should probably think back and think about their highs and their lows and think, how can I change for the better? What should I stop doing? What should I start doing? Just to create better habits. And this is also kind of random, but sleep. Sleep is so important. And I was really good about sleeping until this week, and I'm extremely tired. But like I was saying, deciphering your time between school and relaxing also, when you're on your phone, make sure that's not in your bed with your lights off because you won't know when it's time to sleep.
Yeah. And I definitely have a problem with sleep. Like, I'll stay up so late for no reason, literally, like, no reason at all. But something that helps me is, like, I started journaling before bed. This is kind of cheesy, but it's, like, it really helps me, like, yeah, it helps me, like, de-stress and, like, get ready for bed. Yeah, it tires me out.
You know, this first semester has definitely brought in a bunch of different highs and different lows, and kind of getting away from that point we made about self-discipline and being able to learn how to develop good habits while there are many temptations around you while you're having class from your house. Though that can be hard, there are definitely some good things to look forward to during this new semester. Not just with sports coming back in the spring, which should be very interesting, but SGA is doing everything that they can to make semester 2 as safe and as inclusive as possible. Kate, you mind highlighting some of the events that SGA has in store for us?
Yeah, so I know last semester we did town hall and we're doing this podcast, obviously, and some service events, but looking forward, we have this big can drive, and our senior president, actually, Betty Tish, is doing that. She's running it, and it's this big video that comes out, and I know that it's a big competition between, like, AK, Providence, and us, clearly, and we're gonna get to see this amazing video, so make sure that if you have any cans, like, get them ready because we're going to be donating them. And then also keep an eye out for any other opportunities to give back and other service things.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people have had really hard years, whether it be financially, mentally, whatever it is. But I know that I've been really blessed this year, so I'm trying to find ways to give back to people that may not have had as many blessings.
And that concludes this week's episode. Thank you to my fellow representatives for joining me today. The beginning of the year looked different from past years, but we got through it and had many highs and lows along the way. Now we can look forward and have a positive mindset as we finish the year out. In order to stay updated with all things Mars Park, it's important to follow at Mars Park High School and at MPHS_SGA on Instagram. Also sign up for the Mustang Express email chain to receive important information about Mars Park. You can subscribe to the MPHS PTSO website. If you have any questions you'd like to add to the podcast, you can DM either Instagram account. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another MPHS Student Government podcast episode. We look forward to having you. Bye.